Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. A reminder, as always, there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. Welcome, guys. We are one day out from FOMC. We might have had CPI today. I'm not even sure. I hardly even pay attention to the actual events anymore, but really more so the positioning into them. And I'm sure we're going to be talking about that in loads today. But welcome, guys. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Tucker, Louie, and Dr. Will's Outlook, also known as Nancy Pelosi Stock God 69. But welcome, guys. Welcome. I hope you guys have all had a fantastic start to your Tuesday, or if you're over in Europe or Asia, fantastic, into your afternoon. Hopefully this is the perfect segue into whatever you all are doing next. But real quickly, guys, before we can start cooking, before we can start sharing our thoughts on what we think is going to happen into and out of FOMC, and obviously all of this fun macro stuff later in the week, I'm going to ask you guys to smash that like button for us before we get started. Hopefully we don't have to look at any soybeans today. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. We are going to get Max and Jackus on this stream for you guys later as well. They're actually cooking up a delicious YouTube video for you guys to be able to digest here pretty soon. But it always means a lot to us when you guys can hit that like button. And if we can run it up before they get to the stream, I'm sure they would be impressed as well. But let's talk markets, guys. Let's talk Bitcoin. Let's talk stock market. I am excited for this week, obviously, because we do have all of these different macro events, not because I love the macro, right? I definitely don't, but more so because last few FOMCs, the last few major macro events have typically led to major trending moves, or at the very least, major opportunity for risk assets, whether that be price appreciation or potentially downside. So I'm excited that we're going to get some volatility this week. I like, as a bull, I like to see that we are selling off into FOMC right now. That selling could still become a bit more pronounced on a lower time frame, but I think given the fact that we are selling it to FOMC and the fact that Powell is likely, in my opinion, he's probably going to be dovish and he's probably going to talk about cutting rates, and the market is going to respond very favorably to that. So any amount of hedging or de-risking into FOMC, which is, albeit uncertain, right? FOMC is naturally uncertain. I view hedging and de-risking as just that. It's the event. And I think that's kind of why we're seeing these candles painted on our charts this week. And I think that's reflected not just in Bitcoin, right? But obviously in altcoins that are down. Some of them are down more so than others. I will say you are starting to see some altcoins maybe show signs of bottoming here locally speaking, right? Like there are a few that are sticking out as having a bit more outperformance over others, like a Pepe, for example, potentially an STX. These are just very broad. I'm sure I could find some more nuancy on-chain tokens that have held up well as well. But yeah, no, this is, it's not abnormal to see this type of selling into FOMC, right? So we're going to continue to see what that looks like, obviously, as we come out of the event, which will probably be more important. And over in the equity markets, nothing has really happened. Although I will say the fact that they continue to smash things like small caps, the dollar moving higher, but not dramatically higher, and we talked about this yesterday, is a sign to me that people are probably de-risking over in legacy land as well. But as we've seen, when people hedge into a macro event for equity markets, crypto, it's been a little bit less actionable, but for equities, we have sometimes some absolutely gnarly rippers on SPOOs, on NASDAQ, on basically all the indices. So I've been yapping for long enough, guys. I'm going to open up the floor here. What are we thinking, obviously, about what's happened already over the course of this week? What are we thinking into FOMC? And of course, the age-old question, what are we seeing in the markets?
Is it time to punt longs, boys? Oh, man. Maybe. I think this week is going to be probably a nightmare. We were saying that to our Discord the last couple of days. We're probably just going to get some of this with all this macro data, honestly, which is not what anybody wants to see, really. But I'm kind of glad that they got this over with. Because we were just, I mean, this was a little order block or whatever, but like we were just hanging on by a thread, kind of, right? Like we were probably always gonna come down here, right? Now this, I'm serious. This eerily reminds me of 25K. Eerily, okay. And now just bear with me while I do this. I did this yesterday. Oh, I'm on Doge. Jesus. Eerily, guys.
Are you about to
Absolutely.
goalpost Doge, Tucker?
No.
So I think Jackus might have something to say about that.
Yeah, I bet he'd have something to say. But like, you know, just this just this, boom, and then do it
Small
again.
ring.
Yeah, like same thing, man. Same exact thing. Like, especially if I get rid of all this. I mean, what are we talking about? Like if this is real, like you're here, if this works out.
Well, we did discuss yesterday. This is probably what was going to happen, is that we would hit mid-60s, and close enough, right? Close enough. It doesn't have to hit mid exactly, but it was roughly discussed that we would hit mid-60s, and here we are. So I think, like, can we go a little deeper? Sure, we'll see if that plays out. But at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is pretty much prepped. It's ready to go.
Guys, this is gonna play out, man. This is gonna play out. This is unreal. Do you see it though? Am I crazy for seeing
No, I
it?
see that. I see it for sure. And then that big up move and then just straight down. Was that like an event? Like that could be like tomorrow. That's like the FOMC. No, like after.
Yeah.
Which one?
No, like after the lows, and then you got that big up candle, and then straight down, back to the lows. No. Before that.
This little.
Oh, no. Right in between. That move up to 27K and then straight drop.
You talking about this?
Yeah.
Bro, no, that was what was that? That was,
it had to have been something, but I could see like something like that tomorrow playing out.
It was something with grayscale. Okay. And then this was Cointelegraph intern right here. That was Cointelegraph intern wick. But yeah, this was something. I don't remember what that was, but yeah, man, this is real. Bottoms in. Calling it live. Bottoms in. Just remember, everyone. Just remember the last time that Big Hagrid publicly called bottom was right here. All right, let's just remember this. I very well could be wrong, but I like it.
That was last FOMC.
Yeah, if you go, I don't want to do this.
Definitely an inflection point.
Yeah. I don't want to, like, if you go plot every FOMC on the chart and measure that, like I saw somebody did the work and tweeted it out, but if you do that, like we basically pump like 20 or 15 to 20% in the next like weeks after every FOMC for the last 6 months. Like it's pretty spot on. So yeah. Also, I know we talked about it with our Discord, but I don't think that we talked about it on here quite yet. But if you guys didn't believe me, whoever didn't believe needs to become a believer right now. Okay? Believe.
I'm pissed that worked.
Become a rock respecter right now.
Eventually, everybody gets rock pilled, Tucker. Eventually,
yes, I know.
But it usually has to be by experience.
Yeah, man. See, like in a range like this, it plays pretty well when you're trending right. Those bearish moons don't play as well in a trend, right? Like that didn't really. You got a little move down, but it didn't really do anything. But in a range like this, boom, 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 boom. It's nice. I'll tell you what, it's nice.
Let me retweet the market check. I'm getting up there in followers. Maybe get some people in here. What do you think?
Here's the alpha.
Oh, I have my first scammer. A buddy in real life sent me a screenshot. My first impersonator.
Yes, I remember
So
my
be
first.
careful.
You'll always remember your first, Louis. You'll always remember your first.
Yeah. I was like, I'm pissed, but at the same time, I'm kind of like flattered. It's like, am I making it or what?
Yes, that means you've made it. I don't think we can go up in a big way until here. I think we're going to do this. I think we're going to do that. Based solely on the moon. Now, somebody did ask for whiff. I will, I'll pull this up. Oh, man, the moon works on whiff too, huh? Wow. That was nice. What do you guys think about whiff?
Let me know when you guys are done putting out cookies and milk for Santa Claus.
Oh my God, Will. Cookies and milk. A little bit sus here. A little bit sus here on whiff.
I mean, it's probably going to be a fake trend line breakdown into a
I know. It's gonna be it's gonna be a little deviation, bruv. Who Andy did this, didn't it? Yeah, Andy did this in a big
Tucker,
way.
the
Right there
audience
too. I was just looking at it. It's like right there.
Yeah, it was like this or whatever.
Tucker, the audience wants the real alpha. They want to know what's up, dog.
I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, same thing on Andy. You might get that on whiff. I could see that. But I mean, what dip, guys? What dip are we talking about here? Oh man.
Where are my top sellers?
This is a classic Will's Outlook buying zone right here.
That's where I
should
was
have
buying
bought some.
brother.
You were buying there? Well, I was
was
buying
buying
in
there.
here. I was not. I was buying up at like 2 mil or something.
I mean, it's still way early, but yeah, it's funny because you have just like complete meltdown in certain exchange altcoin. I mean, basically every exchange altcoin all week, and meanwhile you have fringe. You have fringe on-chain tokens that are still doing well, and that's kind of always been the case,
Crazy.
right? Like, it is, where there's always going to be speculators on chain. Even if shit is hitting the fan on exchanges or, in kind of the broader area of the market, it's just obviously the bigger the asset is, the more likely it's going to be exposed to, market-wide sell-off.
Tommy, they wanted KeyCat. They wanted KeyCat. They were coming at me they said, how's that KeyCat doing, huh?
Apparently, if anyone's selling anything, they're selling their mid caps and their high caps, literally, and they're holding on to their micro caps because that's kind of safer right now. It's crazy.
Something tells me they don't like the cat with the keyboard.
Dude, no, bottoms, bro, bottoms. Study the retest. I don't know. Man, I don't know. You need to see some of that. Some sideways is needed, in my opinion.
I will say, like, speaking of meme coins, Pepe and Bonk have actually held up pretty well today. I mean, not to say that they haven't gotten beat down over the last few days, but they've held up pretty well today.
But yeah, like, let's do like Pepe Bitcoin. Like, yeah, where's the daily candle? Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that. I mean, look at this chart, bro. Why would you hold Bitcoin? Why would you ever hold Bitcoin?
Let's do Updog Bitcoin.
Updog Bitcoin? Updog. Is it the USDT one? Yeah. Okay.
Gosh, my cat wants to go.
Goodness gracious.
Ooh. Who could have foreseen?
Oh, wow.
Up only.
There was someone out there.
Have foreseen.
I don't know if it was you, bro. But...
Should I sell my house and kids for Updog or KeyCat? Oh my god.
Oh man.
Steady Ape Tardio. Sorry. I'm done. Hey, I think Sol's probably trying to bottom here, man. It's trying. I know some people have shorts on and want lower, but yeah, man.
I think this has another leg to puke. It doesn't have to be big, might be small, but I think it has maybe one more tiny little leg of a few percent to go before you can call it bottoms. Ideally, it does maintain that uptrending structure, Tucker, because if it were to like nuke through kind of that area, then long-term range for some of these altcoins becomes much more likely.
I will say this,
like Sol.
The team on Solana are trying to keep everybody drunk and distracted with meme coins while they dump on our heads continuously. Because you can tell that they are definitely distributing hard.
There was a lot of supply. There was a lot of supply that put my line back on. There was
a well-connected friend told me that they started dumping last week. I guess when Bitcoin started nuking was actually the same day that the Solana unlocks came out. So
yeah,
terrible timing for Solana the token, but
who's selling?
Everybody who bought that locked Solana, they got like their first big unlock of that supply.
Oh yeah.
They think they're slick though, like nobody's noticing. You can definitely tell.
Yeah, I mean the weakness in Solana has been pretty pronounced the last few, really the last few weeks, honestly.
But this is honestly what I think will drive them back in the ground in the next bear market, is because they're so freaking greedy.
What do you guys think about ETH here? Speaking of shit coins.
Dear God in heaven.
You said ETH and shit coins in the same sentence?
I did.
We're going for that.
I had to do a little bit of ETH, but I had to.
ETH is a shit coin. I mean, I love the EQ fills. I love that. 3310. Book it. I don't know. It looks like a Bart to me, man. It looks pretty Barty. Maybe. Oh my God! It's just.
Look at that move up. Like, come on, that was just a straight. It was a straight line up.
I know you can't retrace this whole candle, or it's gonna look.
3,400. 3,400. 3,400.
34. Yeah, that's fine. 3,400. That's fine.
A little dip in there.
Yeah, you absolutely cannot. Yeah. Dip your toe in a little bit more. Like maybe kind of like this. 3,400, 3,380, whatever. I like that. Maybe down.
Evan Casey's saying 64K before FOMC.
That's fine. He also called for 100K by end of month, so let's hope he's right.
Who did?
Evan Casey.
Oh. Evan, when are you coming on the show? Big guy.
Get him on. I want him on.
Dude, Evan, I'll send you the link right now. I'll send it to you. Don't think I won't. There's Jackus.
Hey, what's up, Jackus?
Evan,
we're talking about
this is your first prom, right, Evan. All right.
He's at the gym. Evan, I know your gym is in your garage where you hang out and trade. Okay, I know this about you. Okay.
If you're at the gym, you're not working out because you are literally typing comments every 5 seconds. There's no shot, or you're standing in the corner of the gym.
No. He has a home gym in his garage where he trades his XRP and other coins.
His XRP, bro.
I'm pretty sure it's a sick setup. I am. Yeah.
That's pretty based.
It's very based. Yeah. He has a setup we all wish we had. I'm not checking Tret. What is that, dude?
I'll check it for you. Yeah. Oh, dude, it's Chinese.
Full panel.
Of course it's Chinese bread. All right. We got Max and Jackus here. I'm gonna give you guys the charts. I gotta hop off and do some other stuff. Somebody take the chart though. Somebody take the chart.
What do you gotta hop off and do?
We were actually just cooking over there.
I think Louis wants the chart.
Oh, there he is. Louis got the chart. All right.
Louis, is this financial advice, Louis, that this is a deviation?
It's devious speculation. But I've been calling for this. I was calling for this deviation, but then I noticed, similar to Bitcoin, that like the last time we did a move like this, it was literally at the last FOMC. They literally pumped it up into the FOMC. The day of the FOMC was the deviation, and then we went right back below inside, and then that was game over. Obviously, it's not going to be identical, but it's just funny how the timing works out.
It is funny.
We can even test this here, 1.5.
And here's I don't know if you guys already talked about this, but it's generally a rule of thumb for me that if you see kind of like very obvious or prominent strength leading into FOMC or a binary event where you're waiting on like a piece of economic data and the market is just really tilted one way or the other, it's typically a fade event. You know, so to see DXY potentially putting in another deviation, to see Bitcoin selling off somewhat aggressively. What's going on, Tommy? Why are you making faces?
Look at Apple.
Can you pull up Apple real quick, Louis?
Yeah.
Is Apple nuking?
All-time high.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
What just happened?
Oh.
GME.
Who could have foreseen?
Oh, my.
And Mr. Tucker just Mr. Tucker just logged out when Apple is pumping on Apple Vision Pro sales.
Dude, imagine Apple bears, bro. Apple bears are in shambles, man.
This is the calculator pump.
Wow. They just came out with their new like.
Haven't you guys heard?
Man, I messed up, man. I should not have
calculator.
The calculator? No, I don't know. Oh,
you don't know?
Their new calculator? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, that's revolutionary, bro. It's game changing.
This is what we just did on Bitcoin. We rejected at range highs, and then now Apple's gone. Bitcoin just did the same thing. We literally just rejected at range highs, and people think we're going back to range lows.
Prove it, Louis. Show me.
Here. I mean, granted, we're dropping a little lower, but it's a higher vol asset. That makes sense. But we could gather strength here and then go for the breakout tomorrow for sure.
Louis, how do you feel about this kind of weakness into FOMC?
I prefer it. I'd be a little more skeptical. I'd be more skeptical if we were pumping into it, because then it's like, oh, they're going to rug everybody.
This feels like bait to me, just like last time. Look at Louis' chart, the last FOMC. Yeah. It feels like bait, just like that was, you know. And Jackus and I, we were just doing a video, so you guys can watch that in a few hours when it's uploaded. But that green box that you have right there, Louis, FEG, like there's some serious demand in the mid 60s. You know, to just think that for whatever reason, even if we went lower, we would just slice through it immediately. I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to just assume we would lose that level. We spent a long time chop solidating there, reestablishing value after that last FOMC deviation. I don't see why we would lose that level very quickly, unless Powell comes out and is just like, yep, it's over. But he's not going to do that, you know?
Yeah, like look at this price action leading into the last FOMC. We were going straight down. Pivot. Day of FOMC, pivot point, see you later. Didn't look back. Yeah. I mean, I still think we front run this FEG. Unless we get there today. If we don't get there today, I think that's going to be, unless we tap it tomorrow, maybe on a wick. I still think we front run this. I don't think we're going to get down that low.
I wouldn't be surprised if we front run FOMC with the bottom, with the way that we're selling off today.
My perfect scenario is where we dump down there on CPI earlier in the day, and then later in the day we bottom on FOMC. So like CPI is a dump and FOMC is a pump. A perfect shenanigans.
Tommy, how's the derivatives market looking? Are we seeing people coming in here shorting, or is this just kind of a long wipeout?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of more of a long wipeout than anything. I think the lower you slide, though, without a serious puke of OI, the more you risk putting that open interest underwater. That came in around like basically this higher low level on Bitcoin, and there's basically like 3 or 4 billion that got put in up here. So I wouldn't want to see structure just flipped way upside without a big puke on open interest, because that wouldn't really look the best. You know, if you have everybody underwater and no puke. But I have to imagine if you are to tag like 64, 65K, that would, I mean, there probably would be a pretty big wipe on open interest. We've already seen, I'm sorry if you guys hear my cat. He's just relentlessly trying to get out on the porch, but you know, BNB retraced much further than I expected based on the open interest that it put in. So I think that's worth considering too, because I don't think BNB retraced all of its OI, but it did retrace basically a majority of the move.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at this volume too on this last 12 hour. I mean, this is a pretty big move down, and look how low the volume is. That's pretty telling to me as well. We're still in descending volume, like that's consolidation volume.
Yeah.
So that also tells me this could be more of a manipulation move here. So that, you know, we haven't seen a breakout of this descending volume that we've been seeing this whole range the last 3 months.
Yeah, to me, it just tells me sellers are out, buyers are in, and sellers aren't really doing a lot. I mean, you're getting a little bit of selling here, but like when vol drops, the price rises, it's a lack of selling. And then you'll get an event where sellers will step in, and this is it right here. This is your sellers. This is the most they can do.
There are a lot of altcoins as well that are not dumping nearly as hard today as they have been over the last few days prior. So I think that should be taken into account as well, that these alts are probably leading the market more or less.
Why do you think that most of these, you know, altcoins aren't really puking? They're not puking because people want higher prices. They want to bid much higher. And you get altcoins
they want to bid higher. They want to sell higher.
Look, you get up dog at the price you deserve, right? So if you buy the top, it's the price you deserved. So that's why you got to buy now while it's still the low. Just like Bitcoin, just like Ethereum, just like PayPal. Like all these things right now are on discount.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even Mog, man. Mog's like a deviation, bro, at this point.
Yeah, Pepe, I mean, overall, what are we at here? So this is like probably one of the bigger pullbacks we've seen, 36%. What was this? 60. Okay, so they're getting smaller if we hold here. But compared to other alts, this is still in a serious uptrend versus most alts are creating new lows here. So just got to find the strength.
Look, Timo gets it. You see Timo in the comments? He gets it.
Pepe, yeah. Pepe. Also, study real brick walls.
Oh man, I thought that was like one of those visual backgrounds, like on Zoom.
Nah, it's real. That's Max. You could tell the difference. Look at Max.
Louis, you talking trash again?
Wow.
Louis talking trash again, bro.
He's like, let me get that neck.
Wow. Louis' fake ass stick-on brick wall. Probably bought it from IKEA, man. That's wallpaper. Wallpaper. Unreal, man.
We're already starting to see it. Look at this.
Yep, as Todd said, Mog.
There it goes.
Whack ass fake break.
I love that you have some altcoins and risk assets just falling off a cliff today while the dollar only makes a slightly higher high. I'm also taking that as signal.
Hold on. What altcoins are you in that are falling off a cliff?
Oh, no, it's not the ones I'm in. Well, I might be invested inversely.
all I'm saying is like, all the ones I've seen.
Bro, look at Sol. Sol is nuking today. Down 5%, 6%. It's
because they're dumping on our heads. We already know this, but we got the shitcoins to offset that.
So I've got all of our FOMCs pulled up right here.
Nice.
I'm just gonna highlight this real quick, just for everybody to look at. All right. Here you go. Here you go. What does anybody see? Does anybody notice anything here?
Horny bears.
Great way to manipulate price with macro as the excuse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see them trying to form a inverse head and shoulders continuation pattern. That's what I see them doing.
Yeah, I just don't really see this level. I don't see this level just getting sliced through here. This daily level, like you can maybe come back into this, that's fine. But I mean, selling off, and look at what happens when you sell off into FOMC. Look at this. Look at last time. Look at this. What are we even talking about here? What are we talking about? This is what you're about to see. I don't know where we bottom. Maybe it's lower, maybe it's not. This is what you're about to see right here, and it's going to get back above this structure right here. You're going to see whoop. You're going to see whoop, just like that. Same thing. Same thing, just like this. FOMC. And look at this. Same thing. Whoop. A tale as old as time. Guys, we got 5 people on here. Someone speak. Come on.
Comments, Max.
Everyone's sitting there mouth breathing into their microphones. Let's go. Wake up.
I'm reading the comments, and there's somebody mowing the lawn outside, so I didn't want that to get picked up. But I agree with this this trade setup. I have a pretty similar one.
Look, I was just waiting because normally people say I talk too much, so I was just letting other people get a chance to get some words in. But
that's really kind of you. It's really nice. Such a gentleman.
Man, I always try to speak and I just feel like I interrupt someone. So I had it happen so many times, so I didn't want to jump into someone else's speech. And then, so you don't speak and then suddenly it's quiet.
We're nuking. It's over.
Freeman says, I don't know why we don't think we'll go down to 62 and tap that. But Freeman, all right? I don't know how long you've been alive, but I can tell you this. I've heard 50K many times. I heard 20K many times. We're just not going down there. It's absolutely not going to happen. I'm going to get clowned if we do. That's okay. It's just not going to happen. I think that a lot of people, they want a certain vector or price. A rebalance is only 50% of the move. 50% of the move is mid-60s. It's not low 60s. So you don't need to come back down and retap anything below 65. Absolutely nothing. Not going to 50 or 20, going to 12 finally. Yes, I'm sure. You need to get off meth. Methamphetamine is bad. It's a horrible drug.
What if we do this? This is the FOMC fractal from right here. This is interesting.
I like that.
Actually, I didn't say we weren't going below 65, Helly. I said we weren't going below 60, and we tapped 57 for like 5 minutes. Oh, here we go. Let's go. All right, comments. Let's go.
Will's feisty. Look at your 6 hour RSI, guys. We're getting down into deep value territory. Look at this. Deep value, guys. Look at this. Oh boy.
There will be people shorting that tomorrow.
See, Booty gets it. Look, highlight Booty Bandit's comments there. By the way, Booty Bandit, that's not family friendly, okay? But we'll let it pass. We'll let it pass. Can anybody highlight that comment?
People can be bearish if they want. If they're shorting tomorrow, you're going to be shorting into a higher low, in my opinion, regardless of where it's forming. I agree with you, Max. I don't think we're just going to knife through a pretty significant level of demand. Although I will say the OI still has not puked, by the way, guys. I find Bitcoin's open interest to be pretty interesting right now in the sense that it looks like somebody is absorbing. Looks like somebody is absorbing. I don't know if it's liquidations or whatever, but OI literally has not budged on Bitcoin just as price has dropped significantly lower. So somebody is off sides, and I think we're going to find out over the next few days. And my base case is sellers might be more offside than maybe we thought. Otherwise, Bitcoin's literally just going to like nuke way harder than I think would be anywhere near my expectations originally. So
yeah, here's the OI right now. It's come down a little bit, but not really,
That's what I was saying during today's morning call, that OI hasn't dropped yet. I think it's going to come with the puke tomorrow during FOMC. And what you pointed on there with RSI makes sense too. That doesn't mean it's locally like right on this H4 candle going to bottom, but we are at the bottoming process on H4. And guys, I've been saying that we have approached the range highs on Friday. I still do say that we are in a higher low forming on the higher time frames. And as Tommy was pointing out, I think anyone shorting here will be shorting into a higher time frame, higher low, if that makes sense.
All right, so can I get the chart real quick? Because
yeah, real quick. I just have one question for Tommy. One question I got for Tommy. Tommy, this OI right here, this is aggregated open interest. I assume you're looking at this going, they haven't puked yet, right? Went from 5 billion up to 6.5 billion. We're down a little bit. What type of probability do you attach to this? A lot of this actually being short OI, so it doesn't necessarily have to puke, or if it does drop, it would actually be then price going up. Do you think it's possible that some of that could be short open interest and not assuming it's long, and we have to like nuke from there?
Well, I think a lot of the signal and open interest has kind of been lost with Athena. If I'm not exactly sure the mechanics of it, I've kind of heard that used more frequently by some of my smarter like derivatives friends. And that ENA, because of the way ENA functions, I think it creates it adds open interest without like impacting really. It'd only be impactful to price if there was a massive unwind, basically, that open interest. So like locally, I would view it not necessarily the box you've highlighted with red, but more so the more recent run up. So like like over the last few days, kind of in that consolidation, we had a big spike in open interest. It still hasn't gotten shed. Maybe it doesn't get shed. But I think it's not just exclusively longs at this point, because we had plenty of longs come in, or plenty of longs get wiped, as you can see, right? Like, we had plenty of longs get wiped out on Friday, and then open interest was basically flat. We had some small OI come in. That OI that came in over the weekend is definitely gone. So I think if you're going to see a puke beyond this level on open interest, you're talking about a much more meaningful unwind, which means that price is either going to nuke through support levels we think will hold, or you're in for a short squeeze. And I think it's probably the short squeeze. And people can talk about, I know there's a lot of commentary on, okay, this is the most short interest Bitcoin's ever had. There's a lot of debate on whether or not that's based on a basis trade, whatever. I would say I'm sure there's some of it that is from the CME futures basis trade versus spot ETFs. But I also think just attributing the open interest that we have currently to a basis trade is kind of cope, because we've literally been ranging for 3 or 4 months. And study any compression break in Bitcoin's history where you ranged for 3 or 4 months. It was an explosive move in either direction. Because you have so much positioning that gets built up over time. So you literally so it doesn't even matter if people are egregiously shorting here versus whatever. You still have 3 or 4 months of shorts that, I mean, some have covered, I'm sure, but a lot of them haven't. A lot of hedges, for example, that get built up over that period of time eventually come off the board, especially if you're going to eventually take those higher prices. So I still view it as, you flip 72K, you're going to put the squeeze on a lot of shorts. And it's very possible that this elevated open interest that we have is because of shorts, not exclusively because of shorts, right? We don't want to say that there aren't longs in the market when there definitely are. But I think Binance has actually probably been the ones who have been holding up price with perps, and I don't know how eager they are to puke it unless they're absolutely forced to.
Oh no, so did we just lose? We just lost somebody. Can I get that chart?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm back.
All right. So,
Will, what is that?
Look, ignore the doodles. Okay, I'm over here.
Delete that, bro. What is that?
You don't need that. Look, I was playing with some stuff.
What is that?
Calm down. All right. Look, this isn't hard to understand. All right. Where's your structure lie? Boom. All right. We're sitting here hoping to God that we can get a little cheaper Bitcoin, just a tiny bit cheaper Bitcoin. Like you are sitting, like the most cope I've ever seen. What about low 60s? It's low 60s. Look. We took a fib, right? We took low to high. No manipulation. No sleight of hand. No special cards. No special dice. No weighted anything. Okay? Where's your 50 at? Where's your 50 at? What's the strongest support and resistance in a Fibonacci? What's the strongest level out of all these levels? What is the strongest one? It's the 0.5. So the absolute bottom that you could see here is 64. Because if you go below 64, you're no longer playing on this side of the field. You're now playing on this side of the field. This is what people are hoping for. And this is what I'm telling you is not going to happen, because you've already recaptured price up here. You're already back up here. So you're playing on this side of the 50. It's the same thing. Look, I'll get rid of the fib because some people don't believe in fibs. That's fine. Okay, I'll get rid of the fib. Let's do a channel, right? Let's do a channel for those who don't believe in fibs. So we'll come in here. We'll put a parallel channel. We'll go left to right. We'll go high to low. Oh, guess what? My 50 is right in the same spot. Look at that. Huh, that's a channel. That's another way to measure this, right? Look at that price, 64,587. I'm telling you guys, you don't want to, like, if you see price fall below there, the problem that you're going to run into, and this is for the people that are hopeful that they can get price to go lower, is if you get below the 50, you could start doing this theoretically, and then doing this, and then doing this. You don't want to see that. That's not something you want to see, because you'll start stair stepping down. And then once you start stair stepping down, guess what? You're back into a bear market again. So no, I don't think that you're going to get 6. I don't think you're going to get 61. I don't think you're going to get 62. And this isn't looking at the past. This is looking at current price action. That's what this is.
If we do, we're in trouble.
Yeah, if this occurs, it's bad. Like, I won't say 100% guaranteed this can't happen, but if it does happen, that's not a good thing. You're not going to bounce down here and then go right back up. You're going to consolidate here for, like, again, people tend to forget long-term consolidation. The same thing happened right here. How many months did we sit there? How many days did we sit there?
Lots of waffling.
217 days. We were right here between 25K and 30K, and people kept screaming 21K. They wanted to see the fill. Where did they want to see the fill? They're like, oh, look at this box of liquidity. Look at the liquidity here. Everybody going for the liquidity out of here. They're going to touch it. They're going to touch it. Guess what? They never touched it. Never happened. They formed the range. They stayed within the range, right? They stayed within the range. The same thing's happening here. Everybody wants this thing right here to be retapped. Never got retapped. Never got retouched. The same thing's going to happen up here. You're going to stay within the range until you're not. If you don't below 64K, you're now playing at a lower level, and now you can start stair stepping. If you know anything about TA, that's not something you want to see. You have to keep your structure, because this structure moved from this, and I'll show you real quick. Right here, look. It moved from that to that. That's the structure we're in. And if you move back down here, you're moving back to that. And some people be like, well, that's just a range. Yeah, this is the bigger range. On the smaller time frames, you want to hold that 64K. You do not want to see price go below that 64K. If you see it go below 64K, it's cooked. It's more than likely cooked, right? But that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. This isn't looking over here at all. I'm not looking at past price action. I'm just looking at the current price action of what's occurring here. Structurally, I would say we're not going to W bottom. We're not going to revisit lows. We're going to hold the structure at 64. I know a lot of people are looking for a 62 because they want to see a double bottom. Double bottoms are like unicorns. They happen rarely. Very, very rarely. You already got one this cycle. 1, 2. You already got one. You think you're getting 2? You think you're getting 2 double bottoms? I don't think you're getting 2 double bottoms. I think they're going to hire low structure this move. So this is exactly what I was talking about. I just talked about this yesterday. I said we're probably going to reject, and Jack has said the same thing. We're probably going to reject and come back to the mid 60s. Exactly what we said. And where are we at? We're right back at low 60s. So, like, if we were to take structure, again, it's just a higher low move. That's it. That's all it is. It's a higher low move. That's what a lot of people are anticipating here. Well, not a lot of people, because everybody thinks we're going back to the lows. But the people that I know that kind of know their shit are anticipating something like this, right? They're anticipating a higher low move structure. We're going to hold the range. Plus, this is your POC too, your point of control. For those of you who know, you know. This is why the 50 works so well. Because where does price like to play the most? Tommy, where does price like to play the most?
In value, but point of control is where the most volume is in value.
Point of control is where the most volume is. So why are they pulling back to the point of control? Because it's the most value. It's where price lies the heaviest. There's not a lot of interest here. There's not a lot of interest here, but there's a lot of interest in the mid-range. That's why you see a lot of activity. Again, just look across the board. You see a lot of activity in the mid-range. They're just retesting value. That's it. That's all they're doing. Like the FOMC, dumping into FOMC is good. It's a good price action. If we go deeper, then honestly, like I would be cautious, because at that point, if you come back down here and you start doing this again, I think there's a likeliness that you could break structure, and that would not be a good thing, because that means we're going to be effing around for a lot longer than what people are anticipating. Plus, you have to consider too, and this is something we talked about before, with Bitcoin especially, is I think I have the chart on here. Maybe I don't. But we talked about before, where anytime you hit the halving, right? Anytime you hit the halving, you're looking at an extended period of upside, roughly between 390 days to 560 days only, right? Only. Looking for smaller price term moves here, like looking for 61K versus 64K. What is that going to do for you? Have you got a whole Bitcoin? Can you make a 2K positive move? Or are you gambling with $500 to try and see if you can get a 2K less Bitcoin? I guess that's the logic I'm trying to teach people here. Like, just think about what you're saying. You're not sitting here with 30 Bitcoin, like, oh, I can get 2K less on every single Bitcoin I have. You're probably
where is my 100x entry? Or in Tucker's case, where's my 75x entry?
Brother, it's like I'm trying to teach people to be smarter. There are certain points where trading makes sense and where trades make sense. A 2K deeper move that you think has potential to play out, it's not even worth trading. It's just not worth trading. There's certain trades that are worth trading and certain ones that aren't. Freeman, I'm not necessarily attacking you directly. You're not the only one who said that, right? Like,
I'm not attacking you. I'm attacking everybody. All right.
I'm attacking everybody who said it. Yes, correct.
Yeah, everybody can get the smoke. Don't take
it personally. I attack everybody.
Yes, it's just like I guess I'm trying to teach. Maybe it's just the way I was taught is a little rougher than most people, but like. When I do something bad, it's like, don't be an idiot. Be smarter. Think about what you're doing. Learn from mistakes. Like these are the ways that I was taught, and not everybody's taught the same way. I'm not as gentle as most people, right? I'm not going to pat you on the butt. I'm like, go pick your own switch and come back in here. So this is just without tough love, we don't advance. We don't advance, and I can tell you. Looking at this structurally, I think that 64 is kind of your play here. I think your higher low structure and then moon from there. And you can see, I mean, the activity here is very obvious. It's very, very obvious. There's so much activity in this mid-range. It only made sense to come back to it. This is why, Jack has hit the nail on the head the other day. I talked about it on Sunday. For those of you who know. This is the structure that I think a lot of good TA people were looking for, and it's playing out to a T.
All right, Will. I got a question for you, and I need you to not be a politician and answer it, okay?
Yeah.
When are we gonna break to the upside?
I would say
when moon.
Yeah, when moon.
Study time frames, right? Like usually 3 to 4 months is usually about how long these things last. I mean, this one
we've been here for over 3 months already.
Yeah. I mean, look right here.
So you're saying tomorrow? Is that what I heard you say?
I'm saying possibly tomorrow or next month. Yeah, something like
tomorrow or next month.
Somewhere's in that time frame. Honestly, like I think the next 30 days. I think the next 30 days. I hate putting time frames on it though. I really hate it because it's so difficult to pinpoint time. But I think the next 30 days. I think we've consolidated here long enough. What I'm thinking is like you got the lower high structure here for bears to get them enticed into want to stay short. Mm-hmm. You got the move up here. I mean, look at the monthly. Bears are probably sitting there frothing at the mouth. They took the move up. They're like, oh, it's a swing fail. They're looking at this candle. They're continuing to short the market. Probably took the swing from up here. I think this thing's going to swoop like that. That's what I think is going to happen here.
I loved one of the comments that I read before, and it went something like, "We ran out of teenagers to dump on."
I saw that.
I don't know who said that, but I laughed.
The ones stealing their parents' credit cards.
I don't want to interrupt anyone, but it's surprisingly, I remember it, so I found it fun. There was a Fungi was saying, Jikis, give us alpha, please. I gave you alpha, guys. I gave you. It's just you gotta have patience for it to play out. There's also lots of alpha that I just shared with them. I was doing a video with Max. It's going to be released on this channel. Just a few moments. I suppose later today, maybe tomorrow, but it's about a half an hour long video. We cover BTC going into FOMC and CPI, and also ETH BTC. So be sure to check that out.
I mean, you've got here's the thing too, and this is important on the weekly time frame. Who could have foreseen, right? And I've discussed this many times. We'll continue discussing it moving forward. Is your trend, right? What is going on with your trend? You have potentially a little lower you can go here. Again, I think that's 64K, 65K. I did say 65, but it'll be roughly in that range. I don't think you're going to go much deeper than that. I think you're going to bounce right off your trend, and it's going to be moon time. You see price action hit that trend, I would be very bullish.
One thing, Alpha, I'm gonna say is that I think we're gonna get a bounce here, at least locally. I still think we go lower after, still tomorrow, but I think we're gonna get the relief bounce here, because usually I kind of get the feel for it now that when things get as oversold as they have now, and you kind of get that inner feeling like you're starting to panic with each 50-minute candle, that it prints to the downside, like, you know, it's usually a sign of the really bottom. So
the bears.
That was the alpha. So
yeah, ETH looks like it's bouncing here.
Guys, don't freak out. You know, I'm legit feeling nothing. I was picking up some stuff for my home while this drop. Well, can we even call it a drop? Was happening. So just enjoy it, use it as a learning experience. But things will be, prices will be much higher 12 months from now. So that's all that needs to be said.
Wait, I have to wait 12 months to be rich, Jackus? Come on now.
No.
Come on, Jackus.
When bears go outside and it's snowing, and they don't go back in their cave and go back into hibernation, they die. So don't be that bear, okay? Yeah. Don't be that bear.
Louis, you got some
hibernation to go pick up the Snickers.
Go back into hibernation. Right? When the snow's gone, you can come out.
I'm just looking at.
You got some charts for us? I want to see Louis Alpha.
I'm just looking at the lower time frames on ETH, like Jack is just saying. So we're getting a nice reaction here. We're finally filling this bigger FEG here.
I don't have your chart up, by the way.
Oh, wait.
It's over.
Tesla.
And also, guys, don't even make me look at the likes right now. I already know that they're in shambles. Please. Don't make me look at the
Louis, before you cook, we're going to give you guys 1 minute to panic like. 1 minute to panic like. To save us going to the soybean chart.
Dude, I already know.
What do you say, Max?
If we get to 300 likes, I will take my hat off. I buzzed it this morning, so I'll show you guys the head.
It's shiny.
It's not a shave. It's a buzz. It's different. But it's a buzz. So I'll show it. I'll show the head. But it's got to be 300 likes. So
If we get to 500 likes, then Will is going to show you his doodles on the chart.
That's right. That's right. I'll show you where the Lambo is. All right. I'll show you where the Lambo is.
Guys, I don't even want to look at what the likes are at. I just know it's not where it needs to be. It's I hope there's panic liking going on right now. That's all I have to say. I hope that there's panic liking. I hope that you guys are panicking and you're just smashing it. Someone goes all pass. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's super kind of you.
The best part is their name is Summer Sunrise.
By the way, Louis, I highly recommend charting Binance chart. It has a better wick down there.
Oh yeah.
I still think that Binance provides the most value when it comes to charts.
Can we highlight Gabe's comment?
USDT, ETH USDT. USDT markets are what's running these markets. USDT.
That's the alpha.
No, it really is.
So there's less.
I think that's still spot, Louis, isn't it? I think you need to go perps.
No, it's spot. No, spot. Spot is.
Oh, the spot you're talking about? Okay.
Comment.
You gotta go spot.
Yeah.
Can you highlight Gabe's comment?
Oh, that's perps. You're right. My bad.
Gabe.
Yeah, but on the chart you have the spot chart, so it's good.
Okay.
Well,
now you have, wait, what?
No, there's less.
Now you have the USD chart. You need to put in the USDT
Let's
chart.
keep the audience going.
Yeah.
This one.
Yes.
There it is.
Thank you, Summer Sunrise. You sound like a very nice person.
What if we never go below 66K ever again? Has anyone thought about that?
Look at that. Jay hit the nail on the head. It's hidden Lambo divergence. Okay.
Yeah, this actually looks a lot different than mine.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. But we're filling it. We're filling
American mind cannot comprehend.
That's honestly what I like. If you take that though and did like a hold on, can you put that on the daily? Isn't there like a God candle there or something like that?
Enjoy your soccer jackets.
All right, so throw a fib on there.
Is my
Put it on the weekly too. Put it on the weekly. Sorry.
The European mind cannot understand not using.
All right, now throw a fib just on that one candle.
Having to use a foot as a descriptor for
or a parallel channel. Either one. I don't know.
Stinky feet, man. You guys don't understand. It's called soccer. Study.
All right, mark your 50.
It's marked right here. It's ugly, but I don't really use the fib, so.
All right, so you
right at the 50 right here.
You tapped where you were supposed to.
Yeah.
So this can actually hold here. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking for.
My fibs are so ugly, but
you already 50% refilled the price action move, and this is actually what I was looking for on ETH too. I think we talked about it yesterday, Tommy, on the show. 3,400 was roughly.
Also the 618 too.
Yep, 618 also. Yeah, this is the ideal range where you should be bidding, even though it looks like a falling knife.
Yeah. High or low?
Yeah.
Yep.
See you later.
Exactly. Hey, we don't like those doodles. All right. We don't like this.
I'm the worst doodler ever. I'm on a trackpad. I got to get my mouse set up.
People don't understand the doodle until they see you sit there and try and draw out 30,000 scenarios.
It's tough.
Then they get it.
I'm still on a laptop. I don't have it. I travel a lot right now. I'm back and forth, so like it's hard. I don't have like a desktop set up at the moment. So
if you go back to 2,900, somebody asked if 2,900 is possible. I almost feel like you're going to be in a downtrend. That's not going to be good. You go back to 2,900. That would be a bear case scenario, in my opinion. You're going to start channeling down
of the whole move.
Yeah, that would be very bad.
I'm gonna pull a Tommy on the chart. Okay. Yeah, you did it once, Tommy. That was too many times. Now it's called pulling a Tommy. What if we just study the Pi cycle top indicator and you realize that, oh wait a second. This is where we're at right now. What if you just study this and you realize oh my, we're not going to go below this line. What if that's the bottom? What if that's the bottom? And you're about to get just totally shaken out of your position. I mean, look at this. Look at the interaction with this damn line.
It's been a strong uptrend. I could see it coming a little lower though. I mean, there's been points in the chart where it's happened, but it would be like a deviation below the MA.
It certainly would be. I mean, there could be a wick.
Yeah, MAs are a strong indication of overpriced, low, underpriced type plays. I like it when it deviates below the MA because then you could kind of catch a pretty good bid from there. But we'll see if it continues to hold. It looks though overall it looks like a strong trend. A lot of bears are looking at this as like it's a failed shoulder. That's what they're doing right now. They're trying to find any time frame to make it a lower high and take the swing, but there's really not a lot of time frames that do that right now.
Failed shoulder is like as an inverse head and shoulder, like continuation.
No, just like a lower high swing.
Oh, right.
I mean, let's do a little exercise here. Let's do a little exercise here. I'm gonna throw this on the chart now. Actually, no, I don't have it saved up here. Yeah, here's what I'll do. Bitcoin USD. There you go. There's your halvings. Let's do a little exercise here. You guys want to study the chart? Huh. Super interesting pattern, isn't it?
I say up.
Super interesting. Just such an interesting pattern that plays
like
out.
We're going deeper.
I'm contrarian.
Dude, look at this thing is cooked.
Yeah, it's not just that, Max. Show them the amount of days after the halving that you're up only, pretty much.
I will. I got one. I got one better. I got one better for you.
And every halving lines up with a presidential election. I don't think people think about that either. It's like just use your brain a little bit on how these things work.
Here, I got some time-based fibs for you, Will. You like this?
That's some serious autism right there, Max.
Thank you, Tommy. Time-based fibs around the Bitcoin halving. Every top, every bottom between the same two sets of fibs. Study it.
I had the bear bull cycle, lull cycle type layout too. I think that not enough people appreciate, the potential that you have in the current range that we're in. I mean, come over to where we are right now, Max. You're still in the lull cycle. Like you haven't even peaked yet.
You're in the gray area, bro.
Yeah.
You haven't even reached like the
peak FOMO play.
Yeah.
I have to press you though.
Press me, Louis. Do it.
I'm
gonna deep fry you right back. You press me.
The only difference I see is that we are actually, closest to the all-time high, if not above the old all-time high now, versus way deeper in the last two cycles.
So does that imply an expedited cycle or a cycle where we extend higher than we did in previous ones?
Right.
Relatively speaking.
Right. So do we take it all the way to the red or do we peak earlier?
I look at it like this. I'm a little bit indifferent on this. I think we played the same cycle. I think we play the 500 something day cycle, and we end into 2025.
Yeah. So Will, let me see if I've got a chart for this.
I think price never really mattered going into the halving, even though a lot of people think because price pumped into the halving, it's some big change that's going to happen later on. I think you still play the same days.
So Will, what Will is referencing, guys, is he's looking at this right here. He's going Bitcoin after the halving in 2016 rallied a lot for 525 days. And then last cycle, 546 days from the halving, roughly, right? This is what you're looking at, Will, I would assume? Okay.
And if we wanted to extend it, we can go like 600, 570, whatever, Like if you want to be safe, just go with last cycle's numbers.
I mean, what you're really looking for is like Q3 of next year, potentially.
Correct.
Or Q4, maybe.
Yep. That'll be your 2021 blow off top.
What's the time from above the old all-time high to the top?
I'm happy to do that for you, Louis. I'm happy to do that right now. Let's draw them out.
And the funny thing is, this is immutable. Like you can't argue it. It's been every single cycle. It's not like even the first cycle did the same as that thing, except for less days.
294, 343.
That aligns a little more what I'm thinking, like 6 to 9 months.
So then right here, let's just say
So you say mid next year,
we'll split the difference. We'll just go.
That's possible too. I thought about that. I've considered that too.
So that's basically end of this year, early next year, something like that.
Yeah.
If you go to the first cycle, that's about how long it lasted.
You're talking about this one?
Yep. From having
that all-time high break you're talking about, Will?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Yeah, interesting.
So if it's a shorter cycle, it'll follow the first cycle. If it's a continuation cycle, which I think it's a good potential, it is, because all previous cycles were 500 something days that they're having. The first cycle was 300 something days, right? So it's like every cycle has gotten longer and longer and longer. So if we continue to get longer, we should be like 576 days going into this cycle. And the next cycle should be like 600 days. But we'll end up seeing that up. And I think that plays more a part in adoption and more people being trapped in this space after they end up getting exit liquidity at the end of the cycle. And they realize, hey, I got to stick around if I want to make that money back.
Mm-hmm.
Hello says everything is priced in this cycle. I mean, don't even ask the question. The answer is yes. It's priced in. Think Amazon will be the next earnings? That's already being priced in. You worked in a drive-thru for Mickey D's and found out that the burgers are made of human meat? Priced in. Insiders don't already know that?
Oh, I love that.
I could go. Yes, amazing.
Max, can you pull up the NVIDIA chart for me?
No, I mean, no cap, though. The person said, Fisker said study indentured servitude. That's what it is. If you're not investing, you're in indentured servitude. That's what you are.
Can we look at NVIDIA from... I have to recalibrate the way I remember the pricing on NVIDIA now that the stock is split. But can we look at the consolidation at the very end of 2023? The very, very end of 2023.
Bro, what is that wick?
You talking about this here, Tommy?
A little bit further on. Yeah.
Shitcoin wick.
Right before it went vertical. Look at the pattern that NVIDIA printed right before it went vertical. Probably like 2 weeks before the end of the year.
Did NVIDIA sell the split?
Study verticality.
Hold on. What's up with that wick on there?
I think that's a scam wick.
Yeah, it's just on the daily. I think it's a
I don't
glitch.
think that's real, Will.
It's a glitch. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
They did a stock split, so I think it just messed up the chart. Are you assuming this, Tommy? Is this why we're...
Yes. I think it's going to do the same thing.
Tommy the Bull. So you think, Tommy, we are
somewhere right before the break
in the region?
Yes, we are carving out the higher low before we rip to higher prices. That is my belief. And I will also say, I think equities as well. I was sorry, my cat, but I'm gonna have to play with him or something after this show is over. But yeah, basically my equity market quant, I was talking to him over the last few days, and he was telling me equities are at all-time highs, but this is, I think, the highest like long. I think this is the lowest net long exposure in a while. Or I don't want to misquote it. I don't remember exactly what the metric was, but it's essentially like we're at all-time highs in equities, but positioning would reflect complete disbelief still. So I think these we're kind of setting a mousetrap here, or a bear trap, I should say, more literally, into these macro events that could potentially rip their faces off. I mean, like, we could have one of those days in legacy markets over the next few days where it's like the S&P and NASDAQ are both up over 2% in like a daily candle. That wouldn't even surprise me, because we do have quite a bit of short interest in equities, but we also have it in crypto as well. You'd have to imagine, maybe not to the same degree as equities, but it's definitely present. No, I think the setup is there for something like this, where you just have a vicious reversal out of a higher low.
Damn.
One thing to that fractal max. What's also very interesting, and I think Will was the one who was pointing this out, but we actually entertained this idea like quite a while ago, that NVIDIA broke through its prior cycle all-time highs and did this reaccumulation, and everyone was trying to figure out how to short NVIDIA before it went to, gazillions. And I think the same thing is kind of happening here with Bitcoin, right? It broke its prior cycle all-time highs. It's kind of doing this sideways chop period, and everyone is trying to figure out if it stopped here or no before it goes to gazillions. So
yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting watching people try to short the asset that actually blows their back out and takes their entire net worth.
By the way, Javier has a question which I have to address. Guys, BNB has nuked hard but keeps creating bull dips on the hourly and daily. Do you think it will bounce from here? So you're looking at like, this is so funny, because I was when you have some bags, you are one of the biggest supporters of them usually. But the moment you sell them, you are one of the biggest fathers of those sold bags. I was actually
that's how it goes. As soon as you sell, you have to start playing against it. That's the rule.
This morning show, and they had a small segment for a few minutes where they talked about meme coins. And
hey, Louis, I think we can hear you watching game footage.
Nah, it's not me.
Who's watching Louis?
That's Will trolling.
Oh. I was like, I'm listening to Louis watch game footage of himself right now.
So just to finish up on the BNB, right? So I actually sold it, right? Because I was riding it from way below, and I saw that this is a good spot. And it was actually against quite a good bullish sentiment at the time. But now I just want to see it drop so much because I sold those bags. But obviously, I had a logical reasoning behind it, why I did it, right? Not just randomly. But to your question of when it comes to BNB, Javier, what you are doing is essentially you are basically looking at the trees and not the forest. And lots of the times we think that we are like the smart guys who are looking at the forest and not the trees. But you say to yourselves, right? You say, look at the bull dips on the hourly or even the daily. And I say, zoom out and look at the weekly, right? The weekly just had a weekly SFP above its prior cycle all-time highs and has now done a rejection in the next week and broken its weekly low. So I'm not saying that it cannot miraculously come back from here, but you need to zoom out and see the forest. And the forest is on the weekly and monthly, not on. And by the way, look at the monthly candle. Oh, jeez. But yeah, do not look at the hourly here. Yeah, but if you are looking for a quick trade, Javier, you do not really do it at such
Oh,
place, in my opinion.
So if you guys are looking for the easiest trade in the world, okay, easiest trade, you don't have to think, you don't have to look at anything.
Well, I'm not going to let you say it.
All right, you don't, none of that stuff. Just open Binance US and fill the wick. That's it. All right. See, you thought I was going to say something else. You thought
I did.
Open Binance US and fill the wick, and you're good. That's it. Just fill the wick.
You got me. You got some guys in the comments too.
Man. I just thought of that meme. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
All right, guys, we should call it here. We've been going for an hour 20. Tommy, take us out, brother.
Real quick, Max, before we leave, show them the wick, and then we can leave.
I don't know what that means. What wick?
Binance US.
Binance US. 130K.
Oh God.
We have to fill the wick, guys. You got to fill the wick.
Is that the one from last cycle?
No. There were 2 on Binance US from last cycle.
Yeah, I remember that.
1 to 8K that never filled. And then the other one to like 130. Oh.
I don't even know where to find the Binance US chart. Where?
I think you just type in BTC and it should be one of the first ones that pop up.
Not Binance US.
Yeah.
Is Binance US still functioning though?
I don't even know if you can find it.
Doesn't need to. It's gonna fill the wick.
Here. This is Binance US. There you go.
Oh wow.
See? Look how much more wick we got to fill, guys. I told people this at the 25K too. I was like, we're gonna fill this. They're like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I was like, keep watching.
Watch it actually play too. Watch us do this, sweep it, and then like that's the cycle top. Like, wouldn't that be so funny if it actually did that?
That would be great,
man. When it happens, we are going to entertain it so much because there is going to be so many bears or even bulls or it doesn't matter who's going to be like, how can you just take some random fake on a broken platform and say it's going to be a top? Like that's not a
they'll cope
so much. Yeah, they'll cope with it.
I want to see those bears become bulls first, though. I want to see those bears become bulls at that high.
Booty Bandit said it best right there. We live in a simulation. You're exactly right. We live in a simulation.
All right, Tommy. It's all you, man.
All right, I will send us out. We have been running for almost an hour and a half. So shout out to you guys, the audience as well. I hope you enjoyed the show. A few housekeeping measures, as always, before we finish up. A reminder that we have just launched our new hedge fund, BB Wealth Management. We are beyond excited that we can finally bring this to you guys. As I say every day, I mean, it's something that we have been working to get off the ground since essentially BB was started. So very long time in the making, but we're very excited that now we can not just, launch the fund and begin trading it, but also, offer it potentially to you as well. So if becoming an accredited investor or an LP is something that interests you, we do have details linked in the description below. As a general overview of the fund, guys, it is a long-short hedge fund run by the BB team. It involves trading and investing in digital assets. Of course, guys, we utilize our experience and skill in markets to navigate in a way that takes into account both crypto's historic propensity for upside, as well as the investment risk posed in any market. So if that is something that interests you, like I said, guys, we have more information linked in the description of this video. We can reach out to you via email, send you more information as well. But yeah, very excited to bring that to you guys. Of course, as well, we have the BB Academy, which, as I've been saying, has gone up in price to $4.99. I still think it is fairly priced now, but it is honestly tremendous value, given that you get educational tidbits from everybody on the team. As you guys can probably see, we all have some very different ways that we approach the market, and trade it. So I think that's really where the value lies, right? Like you get to learn from a bunch of people who are great at crushing markets and all do it very differently. So would definitely recommend that. And if that's something that interests you, we have it linked in the description of this video as well. Shout out everybody who was able to get in at discounted prices. They're probably feeling like they got a steal right now. But on to our programming, guys. If you enjoyed Market Check today, if you've been back before, you already know what I'm going to say. If you're a new Market Check enjoyer, we will be back tomorrow as well as every single weekday with our typical start time around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube and we talk about pretty much whatever's on our mind, guys. We'll talk about moon phases, moving averages, being support and resistance. And you'll often find us, you know, as a team on different sides of the equation. And at least as far as those topics go, we do some audience attacking. We do charts, technicals, trading, whatever's really on the mind. But we have a great time while doing it. So we hope that you, as always, enjoyed the show. Not to forget Market Talk with the legendary King Wabi. He does a great job on those spaces, guys. They go live on Twitter with times that may vary a little bit more. So make sure to stay subscribed and following our Twitter so you can be notified, not just when we go live, but also when we schedule those Twitter spaces. But yeah, Market Talk does exactly what it says. It talks about the market, right? Whoever is on the space, you know, there's very much a flavor of you know, what the speakers take on. So it can be crypto, it can be meme coins, can be equities, macro. I'm sure this week will maybe be a bit more macro heavy given some of the events that we have coming on. So if that is something that interests you, like I said, make sure to stay subscribed and following our Twitter account because Bitcoin for all of the latest times that we will go live. But that's it from us, guys. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday, fantastic rest of your week if we don't see you again. That is it from us. And thanks again.